Hi there, this is Pandit Fakir Yogi Brendra Yogi, a man who is in search of enlightenment, wisdom, trying to understand how the power of thoughts governs the life of the human being. And I have realized and have learned from all the most experienced people that a man is the master of his fate and captain of his soul. A woman is also the master of her fate and captain of her soul by virtue of the thought they choose and encourage. They themselves are the maker of themselves. There is no external forces which can really make their life peaceful, happy, joyous. Their health, happiness, peace, progress, everything is directly proportional to the thoughts and actions they have developed and acted in their life. And the circumstances which they create is starting and beginning from the seed of thought they have planted in the mind. Like a man is very honest. He works very hard. He has a definite purpose. He wants to be a great tennis player. And if he keeps on practicing and practicing, and ultimately, after a lot of losses, he has understood the technique how to win the matches. He can become Djokovic, he can become Federer, he can become Nadal. This is tennis sport, that's why I give you the example. So his greatness and his all the Grand Slams 20, 22, 23, this has created a wonderful circumstances in their life. They are well-to-do, they have everything on the planet Earth, but that conditions and circumstances which they have generated has not come out of nothing. There is a very well programmed, there is a very well dedicated, committed thought, word and action in their conduct and behavior in their life. And majority of the people do not commit themselves, do not be ready to sacrifice everything to become so powerful people on earth. That's why they create a very miserable conditions and circumstances. The reasons are their thoughts are scattered. They are not concentrated. They are not powerful thoughts. They are timid and coward, afraid of losing the battles. They are not having the attitude to win or perish, victory or death, do or die. That's why one of the greatest person, George Bernard Shaw, the founder of the London School of Economics, said, people poorly blame their conditions and circumstances where they are, but he said he does not believe in conditions and circumstances coming from outside. The conditions and circumstances are created by his own thought, word and action. And he said, I do not believe in conditions and circumstances. The person who get on the world, find out what they want, their desires, dreams, aspirations, hopes, and if they do not found it externally, they create within themselves. They create every condition and circumstances favorable for them. And so said one of the greatest French emperor. The word impossible is found in the dictionary of fools. If there is no circumstances favorable, go create the circumstances favorable for yourself. And he was the great Napoleon the Great. So dear friends, I inspire you and I motivate you. Commit yourself. Circumstances is the result of your own thinking. Once thought in the mind you have put, that become your words, and if you meditate upon it, contemplate upon it, that become your actions, and they are converted into your habits. And that habit gravitates into your circumstances. Your pure thought, word and action will gravitate into a very congenial heavenly circumstances. And a very impure, a very evil thoughts, greed, anger, jealousy and cynicism can really create circumstances which are very miserable. So you are the master of your fate and you are the captain of your soul, beloved friends. That is only what I want to share with all my friends. Do not blame conditions and circumstances, but take the responsibility of your own life. The conditions which encounters with suffering are the result of the Creator, not outsiders. The circumstances which a man encounters with blessedness are the result of his own mental harmony. Blessedness, not material possession, is the measure of right thought. Dear friends, blessedness, not material possessions, is a measure of right thought. Wretchedness, not lack of material possessions, is a measure of wrong thoughts. A man may be cursed and rich, a man may be blessed and poor. You know what I am telling? If you see somebody is very well-to-do, well-off, a lot of name, fame, wealth, but he may not be happy. He may not be peaceful because his root is very, very sinful. On the contrary, a man may be very poor, but he is like Gautama Siddhartha Buddha. His thoughts are pure and absolute and truth. He can be the happy, the blessed one. So the blessedness doesn't mean that he cannot be a poor man. Wretchedness doesn't mean that he may not be a very rich man. But what he will not get? A peaceful life, a very enjoyable life. That comes by the purity in the mind. Thought in the mind will made you. What you are by thought was wrought and built. If a man's mind has pure thought, peace, joy, happiness, health, progress, prosperity, serenity will always his shadow. But if a man has evil thought, a criminal dominated his mind by groveling thoughts, these indolent, ignorant, useless and thoughtless fellows will have a miserable life. They will create by their evil thoughts all the reverse and adverse circumstances. Then they will blame the circumstances. What do you mean by the fighting against circumstances? A man is always sowing the seed of evils and he thinks he will get a good condition circumstances. But he does not know he cannot directly control his circumstances, but by his thought he can control his circumstances. Thought is directly proportional to conditions and circumstances. Destiny, success, fate, they are all governed by your seed of thought. Thank you.